By the end of this video, you are going to know 5 things that you can do today to make your house or space look brand new, no matter what budget you're working with. Most people think that you need to spend hours and hours a day, as well as splurge on expensive products to have a clean place, but actually that's not the case. For instance, can you tell the difference between this photo and this photo? What about this photo and this photo? Both of these transformations only took me 15 minutes and didn't require me to slave for hours on end to have a clean home. Tip number 1 is to have a designated location or home for as many items as possible. So this might seem like the last thing that you want to do when you're living a busy life, but having designated homes for items and then putting them directly back into those homes after you use them is an absolute game changer. Not only are you going to save yourself so much time, but the clean look of your surroundings when everything has a storage space will give you so much peace. Okay, so now that you know this tip about having homes for your items, I'm sure you're wondering what to do with those items that don't have those clear-cut spaces or homes. Which leads me to my next tip. Tip number 2 is to have a designated clutter location. So this might seem counterintuitive at first when it comes to cleaning, but when you're pressed for time, having a place to store random items and clutter is actually super helpful. Rather than using the time that you don't have to try and organize it,
ain't nobody got time for that.
You can optimize the time that you do have to organize and tidy the things that already have their designated homes, which overall ends up making the most impact on your space being clean. Some mistakes to avoid with this tip would be having your clutter location take up too much space. Another thing that you also want to be doing is making sure that all the things that you put here really have no other place to go. If there's an easier place to designate them to, definitely prioritize doing that first. But these are not the only things that you can do. If you want to clean home in less time, you should also know this trick. Tip number 3 is setting a timer for yourself. Setting a timer helps you manage your time. Say if you know you have 10 minutes before your appointment and you want to spend those next 10 minutes cleaning your kitchen. You can set a timer for 10 minutes, give it your all with your kitchen, and you will surprise yourself with what you can get done. However, it's important to note that at first, when you start using timers, you might not get everything that you planned on getting done completed. The point is that you accept this, and from there, you learn what you could have done differently within the same amount of time to have given yourself enough time to do what you had planned. So when it comes to timers, the magic happens the more you use them. Using timers is clearly super helpful, but if you want to learn how to optimize the products that we're using when we clean, you definitely need to hear this next tip. Tip number 4 is using multi-purpose cleaners. So using multi-purpose cleaners is game-changing when you're cleaning multiple surfaces and multiple rooms. For instance, you can use the same cleaner to clean the stove that you also use to clean the sink. You can also use the same spray cleaner to clean the dinner table, the countertops, in your kitchen, as well as the surfaces in your bathroom and bedrooms. Once you start using multi-purpose cleaners, you can save yourself so much time switching back and forth between cleaners. And best of all, once you find the right products, you can rest assured that your rooms are getting as clean as possible. I really love Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose sprays. They get the surfaces really clean, they're non-toxic, and best of all, they come in these really pretty smelling seasonal options. For now, I'm loving their fall scents, which Acorn Spice is one of my favorites. And yes, it is still fall until December 21st. So now that we've covered the products that we'll be using, let's get into the last and arguably most important tip. Tip number 5 is to make tidying a routine. So once again, when you're pressed for time and you're living a busy life, it might seem counterintuitive to take any more time out of your schedule to fit more things into your routine. But instead of saving it for that day, which, let's be honest, you might not ever get, and if you do have a full day off, would you really want to spend it tidying? I don't think so. If you make tidying a habit, you're going to save yourself so much time in the long run.
I'm particularly loving this trend that I've seen lately called the closing shift, and it's super inspiring. Basically, it's where you treat your home as if it's your shift at work, and you have a few things that you do that you just don't compromise on. And this is amazing because you really start to care about your environment, and when you wake up in the morning and there's no clutter, there's everything clean, it really puts you in this mind space where you can think clearly and focus on things outside of tidying and cleaning and clutter. So like I said, you're going to take this time for yourself, but in the end, it's going to end up providing you more time and more peace of mind just by making these habits that you don't compromise on.
For instance, if you have laundry day every Wednesday, once it comes time to do atypical laundry, like washing your duvet covers or getting your delicate cycle in, you're going to limit the pile up and have enough time for these tasks. Or if you have in your routine that you Swiffer your bathroom floors every Tuesday and Thursday, when it comes time to do that deep clean, you're not going to need to do as much for that area. This creates more time and ultimately less stress for you. So speaking of deep cleans, if you enjoyed this video, definitely check out this one here, which is a satisfying deep clean of my entire apartment, where I share some pro tips as well as tricks for staying entertained while you spend your time cleaning. Thank you so much for watching. I love to see you in my next video, so definitely subscribe, share, like, do all those fun things, and I'll see you in my next one. Ciao for now.